Okay, tell us your name.
My name is Mandy Samaniego.
Okay, when you were a missionary, where did you go?
I lived in Singapore with my parents. It's an island in Far East Asia.
How long did you stay there?
3 years. I was in 5th grade, well, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
What was your job there?
My dad was the publishing director of Far East Asia. So we were there mainly for his position, which he was originally started out as a colporteur, and he was very successful with that. So he was promoted to being the publishing director. In Singapore, they had a publishing company there, and they published all kinds of Adventist books, the literature evangelist books. That there was a publishing department in Singapore.
Did you enjoy working there?
Well, I didn't work there, my dad worked there, but yes, we enjoyed being a part of that company and, well, the Adventist system.
Do you ever want to go back?
Yes, I would really love to go back.
Would you want to take your kids there if you went back?
Yes, I would definitely want to take my kids there. There are some things there that I wish, going there as a child, I wish that my kids could experience too, because I had a really good time there.
When you were there, what was the scariest moment you had?
Well, I was a part of Pathfinders. Pathfinders is over there in Singapore as well, and we would go on many camping trips and Pathfinder adventures. One of them was to what's called Sisters Island, and so we would take a boat, a small boat, from Singapore and go out to the Sisters Island. There were two very small islands. You could walk around the island in about an hour, and nothing was on the island. We would just take all of our camping gear and pitch tents and have we would be the only ones on the island. The boat would leave, and then we would pay them to come back and pick us up 3 days later. And I'd done that several times, but one time when we were swimming in the ocean, the Indian Ocean is very dark. It's not clear at all. And so I couldn't see what I was swimming around, and I got stung, and I think it was a jellyfish. And it turns out I'm allergic to jellyfish. And my hand swelled up, my leg swelled, and my foot swelled up really bad, and I was having an allergic reaction to the jellyfish, and I was very, very sick. But we were stranded on the island, and the boat wasn't supposed to come and pick us up for 3 more days. So there was no way for me to get off the island, and I didn't have any medicine. I think one of the parents brought some Tylenol, so I took some Tylenol. But I thought that I was gonna die. I got very, very sick. And I was just kind of stuck there. So everybody prayed for me, hoping that I would get better. And I got very, very sick, and then I got better. That was pretty scary.
What was your happiest moment there?
It was all so much fun. Mostly the great memories I have are from Pathfinder camporees or campouts. We would go to Sentosa Island, which is like an amusement park on an island. It's right next to the big island of Singapore. And we had a lot of really inspirational moments on the beaches, just very beautiful, beautiful sights. So I think those are my happiest memories, are being with all my friends and the sunsets and worships and things like that.
Do you think your life would be the same if you had not gone?
No, I would be a different person. I think being a missionary changed my life. It changed my belief system and the things that I believe. When you're overseas, you see Singapore is very multicultural. So seeing so many cultures and a way that people live so differently from us, I think it really kind of opened my mind to not everything has to be a certain way. Many things can be different, and we can all be different and still be very happy and serve God.
While you were on the island, when you left, did you have anything that you kept from the island?
Yes. So I'll show you this. This is something my dad had made, and it was a gift to me from my dad. So he, as part of his job, would travel, and if I remember correctly, he's passed away since then, but I remember it was either in Sabah or Sarawak, which are countries in the Far East, and he would go out to the communities and preach about God and everything. And one of the communities that he went to was pretty deep in the jungle, and they were using these blow darts as a way to get their meat. And so he asked them to make one for me, and then he went back several months later and paid for it. I think what he paid for it was less than 10 US dollars, which for them was almost a whole year's salary. And so for us is hardly anything. But so this is something that's really special to me. So you can see here there's a hole, and you would take the blow darts. This was their little catch. They could put it in their pocket or something. And these darts, they would put a poison that they made at the end of this. In fact, it looks like these have actually might have been used. And here, let me just put this here. So they would take these darts and put them in the end and slide them. They fit right there, and there's a hole all the way through the tubing, and then the blow dart comes out the end here. If it does, there it goes. And then you blow on the end like this, and it blows the dart through and sticks to the animal. The poison kills the animal, and then they can hunt the animal with the end of the spear to finish getting their meat. So it's pretty special to me. It's one of a kind, made just for me, so that's why it's really special.
Where did you live before you went there?
Right before we left for Singapore, I lived in Washington State.
Did you think you were going to die when you were there, or at any time while you were there?
Yeah, probably just with the jellyfish. I was really sick. I had a really bad allergic reaction. My face got swollen, and it was really kind of a scary moment because I was stranded on the island and we couldn't get off for 3 days. So yeah, there was a moment there I didn't know if I was gonna live.
Did the people there speak a different language than you?
Yes, Singapore is very multicultural. So Hindu, Indian, Chinese, different dialects of Chinese. So when the main language of Singapore is English, which was good for me, I didn't have to learn any new languages, but also the second language was Chinese, Mandarin. So there were many times everything would be translated into Chinese, Vietnamese, Indian, so it was very multicultural.
Was it hot or cold there?
It's hot. It's hot all year round. They have rainy seasons or the dry seasons. They don't have any kind of winter or fall or spring. It's either really hot and no rain, or really hot and raining. And when it rains all day, every day, and the streets flood with water.
How do they dress there?
Because it's so multicultural, they wear all kinds of dresses. Mostly the Chinese would just wear something that resembles the American dress, although at the time when I was there, their colors would match in a different way. They weren't really particular about matching in the way that North Americans tend to be careful about matching their colors. But also there were Indian people with their saris and all kinds of different dresses. So there was not one particular type. Pretty much anything, any goes for a culture.
What were their homes like?
Singapore is a really small island, so it's 5 miles by 9 miles, and so there's not a lot of land for people to have separate homes side by side. So the majority of people live in high-rise apartment buildings. They would go up to 22, 24, sometimes 30 stories high, and you would live in that apartment. And I think still to this day they do that as well.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.